Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I'd like to take this moment to speak to you on the subject matter, rebellion the world over. All over the world, people are dying from wars, from murders, through the diseases, wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, and a lack of life sustenance. As a messenger of God, the creator of all life, I remind all humans that the beautifulness of life is denied through these processes. Our premier parent, before creating us, prepared all that is needed for billions to be sustained, to enjoy our lives and our dreams at the same time. This parent taught us the requirements necessary to enjoy this measure of life. However, it is a choice, as it is with your parent. They teach, but we as children do as we choose and suffer or enjoy the consequences. The rebellion the world over is due to obstacles to this manifestation. Governments of the world, all of them, operate in total disregard for the goals of the Maker. And this denial has been supported by those that have been denied their dreams. And the reasons for this outcome has been fear and deception. Deception that God wants the governments to proceed as they do. Deception that God wants the sufferer to go through the pain on a promise that life will be rewarded for them in the next life. Fear in that for those that do not comply, the government and its supporters will cause greater suffering upon the sufferers. Again, as God's messenger, I advise now is the time that the world become destabilized in honor of a greater power than governments of deception and fear. Yesterday you were victimized, today you continue to be victimized, and if by chance there really is an afterlife for the dead, you will be a victim again as well. Anyone that does not reject victimization will always be a victim. One major tool of deception is that as a Christian, you are taught to put up with whatever comes one's way, and you will receive a heavenly reward later. But peace, prosperity, and joy requires that you reject now any and all things that prevents it, even unto death. Having done so, if there is an afterlife, you are rewarded, or your reward will be fixed for such an action. However, choice still remains. Yes, people are fed up, and they are rising to the occasion. But it's not just standing up, speaking out, that hasn't worked. And so people have rebelled in such a way that they've taken up. They don't have the bombs, they don't have the planes, they don't have the armaments that the government have. So they're picking up sticks, they're picking up matches, they're picking up whatever they can use in their hands as they spit out words. They are retaliating with some measure of force. And as the news cameras across the world show what's going on, there are many nations that activity is not occurring. Yet the pain and suffering that others are going through are being felt where this retaliation is not taking place. So we can rest assured that soon in these places they will wake up to the extent that if they want change, it's not going to be given to them. They're going to have to demand it. And demand it means being willing to suffer even more, even the death, for the protection of the future for your offspring. And it is time, as I see it, that wherever people are suffering, that they receive the Spirit of the Creator into their lives. And if it means destabilizing the whole universe, destabilize it in the name of God. But as you destabilize, I warn you, killing is a tool of the anti-God. Killing is a tool of the man who does not know God, trust God, want God, but places himself in the position of God. But if you allow the Spirit to live in you, I promise you, God will defend you. And for those of you who read the Bible tells you, it speaks to you about those who were willing and how God even divided seas that others might pass, drowned armies to protect those who were led by his Spirit. But even that, being attacked because you are right, sometimes bring with it a right to defend oneself. Not willing to take the first step, but will guarantee that your first step fails. Yes, it is time that this mess gets straight. Nobody should suffer. Nobody should be living in poverty. And it should stop today. Not 20 years from now working on it. It should stop today. And if it stops today, it's because everybody who suffers says no more and mean it. And it will end at that moment you mean it. Not when you say it. It will end when you mean it. Thank you.